Yep, hello drumstickers, welcome again here to Drumsticks Sunday. As always, I am Alberto Iglesias and here we are to talk about a different pair of drumsticks every week. So, this week is kind of different because it's I was talking with my buddy Chus Gancedo, an amazing drummer from here, from Cantabria, and we were together in the Alteza Drum Fest and we were driving there, and we started talking, and he explained to me that he has recently changed to maple, and he's using maple now, especially for playing with the kit and all that. And he told me, oh, it would be really good, maybe your channel, to make a comparison between maple and hickory and all that stuff. I made that thing many times, I think, in many different videos, because I've been comparing maple with hickory, because of different drumsticks, right? But first, I don't remember if I specifically did one video of that. I remember that I did a video of maple, but I don't remember if I compared those two. Maybe I did that with 7A or something like that, but anyway, I think it's cool to do it again. Even if I did it in the past, I think it's a good idea to do that again, because some of you has started to watch the channel a few months from now, and for sure you haven't seen the whole videos in the past, so it's good to do that again for those of you that have started to see the channel recently. And on the other hand, I think it's good for me, because it's good to revisit that kind of thing once in a while, because you learn more stuff, and sometimes when you do that again, you learn new things. So you maybe you have changed your mind, and now you think different, and you are more, I don't know, open to other things, or you prefer other different things and all that stuff. So it's good to try anyway. So here we are. What I've done is I've been using Vincent this week with two options. One with it's a 5A in my case. Chus is using 5B, but anyway, that's not important in this case, because the most important thing is comparison. So this is 5A, this is maple, and this is hickory, and I've been using both with the kit, with the pad and all that stuff. So what can I say about that? First of all, the weight. Okay, this is the for those of you that don't know that, hickory is the most common wood used in drumsticks. It's kind of the medium thing, or the regular thing, right? Hickory. What happens is with maple, it's a different wood, which is less dense, it is lighter. So this is a medium or regular weight, let's say like that, and this is a lighter drumstick, or it's a lighter wood. So what happens is with the same model, same shape and all that stuff, with maple, it's gonna be lighter. Always, it's just like that, okay? That's the main difference. So what happens with that is different things happens because of that difference of weight. First of all, it's the volume. I would say what happens is the heavier the drumstick, the more volume you're gonna have. But what happens here is it's not just a question of volume, it's louder or quiet, it's just the range that you're gonna have is going to be different. Sorry, have two different range of work, right? If you are playing, let's say that your normal stroke with a hickory is here. If you do that, the same stroke with maple is gonna be here. But anyway, you still can modify and play with different volumes, okay? It's just that the medium level is different. So sometimes you're gonna need to play. Let's say, imagine that you go to a gig, and the owner of the place say, "Oh man, you have to play really quiet, because people is eating here, want to talk and all that stuff." So maybe in that situation, they okay, I prefer to play with maple, because I don't have to put that effort to reduce. You have to reduce your volume anyway, for sure, but your range, your default is lower. So it's easier for you to maintain that lower level, because maybe if your normal stroke is going to be quiet, but it's going to have less volume in that case. So that's the thing. It's not a trick. I don't consider this as a trick. I mean, because sometimes some of you ask me in the past, okay, but I think it's more important to learn to control the dynamics and all that. I completely agree with you and all of that. I think that's a key point for a drummer. You have to work a lot on that. But anyway, it doesn't matter. You still have to put that dynamics while you play. The only thing that happens is that the default or the medium level has been modified. But anyway, you still can play louder and quieter. It's not a problem. So in my case, I prefer to use that to use that in my advantage when I go to a gig, right? So that's the volume thing. Another thing that happens with using maple and hickory, in my case, all of this is in my opinion, in my case, it's what happens to me. Maybe your case is different, I don't know. It's up to you to try and let me know. Cool, so another thing that happened is, okay, this is something that Chus told me when we were talking about this, is with maple, they are lighter drumsticks, so it's easier to move around the kit. If you can watch Chus Cancelo, please, you can go there and check his videos. This amazing player, and he's a beast. He's super fast, and so it's good if you are moving around the kit. Reduce that weight in your hands. It's gonna help you because it's gonna be easier to move. You have to move less weight, so it's gonna be easier and faster, right? So for that kind of playing, I think it's amazing. It's a great option. Once you do that, okay, then maybe you say, okay, I can move faster, but I have to put more effort to get that volume. So that's the thing. That's something you have to try and see if it works for you or not. Maybe say, okay, I can go super fast, but I need more volume, so I have to put more effort in every stroke. So that's something that's up to you. For example, if you are recording, maybe that's not going to be an issue. You can work with the microphones and modify. It's easier for you to adapt to that. But maybe if you're playing live and for the gigs, maybe it's different. I don't know. In my case, I don't have to play loud, so it's not a problem for me. But maybe for you. What I can tell you is, for me, that now I'm usually playing a lot now with busy hi-hat grooves, right? And you have to play a lot of 16s within the hi-hat and all that stuff. And it's really great to use maple. It helps a lot because you don't have to put that much effort in your fingers and in your hand, your wrist and all that stuff. It's gonna help you with that. So it's up to you to try. Okay, another thing is the sound. I think that maybe this is the less used thing, maybe with maple. I don't know, maybe some people prefer maple because of the sound, but as I always say, for me in the tones it's super hard for me to compare and to notice the difference. Apart from the volume, I can hear any difference, honestly. But for example, with the snare, sometimes you can notice that, especially with the ring click, or if you modify the place that you are playing, sometimes you can hear that slightly that different. But especially with the cymbals, I think it's a huge difference in the sound. And I say huge, please understand that it's not, it's completely different. No, that's not the case for sure. But you can hear that easily if you try. If you go to the right, it's super easy to realize the difference in tone. What happens is that maple is less dense, is softer too. So when used, for me, I would say that it's kind of a darker sound, washier maybe. I don't know. It's more dark, the sound that you get from maple. I mean, okay. I know that of course you have to also put attention in the volume. I mean, because if you are hitting with the hickory, you're gonna get more volume by default. Remember that. So it's not a question that it opens more. Okay, that's the volume thing. That's because you're hitting harder. You have with more weight maybe, all that. But just about the sound, if you pay attention, you're gonna realize that the sound that you get from the cymbals is different, right? I really love the sound of maple in the cymbals, especially in the right. I really love that sound. And maybe because of I've been using maple in the past months, kind of regularly, but I'm falling in love again, maybe because of choose. So the last thing I want to mention about this is the durability. For those of you that are heavy hitters, for sure using maple is maybe gonna be a problem, because you're gonna have to change a lot of pairs of drumsticks, right? Here is not that thing about the flexibility, it's more flexible, so no. You are gonna break a lot of drumsticks if you are a heavy hitter, a really heavy hitter, right? I mean, and of course, when we mention always about breaking drumsticks, first of all, it's not only the power of the stroke, it's also the place. If you play a lot of real shots, you're gonna notice that the maple drumsticks are probably gonna last. I can tell you how much, but you're gonna realize that lasts less time. And but anyway, it's up to you again to try. And if you are hitting a lot of tone work, and maybe you usually your strokes are usually in the middle, the center of the drum heads, maybe it's not going to be a problem. If you play jazz and other stuff, you probably are changing your drumstick because you are just tired or you just want a new pair, that's all. Okay, cool, that's all I want to say. I think it's a great and easy, it's an easy and cheap way to do some kind of experiment with that. And try the sound, try the feel. Maybe you feel different, maybe you realize, oh, I feel better with this. And maybe a little thing that I want to add to all of this is that the only thing that I really don't like, or it's not that I don't like, I feel that is sometimes it doesn't work well for me, is with lighter drumsticks. I feel that I have to put more effort to hold the drumstick. It's like, because you don't have that weight, it's like it's easier to you hold the stick with more I don't know, effort, maybe more strength. I don't know how to express that, but sometimes I have the feeling that, oh, I'm gonna lose the drumstick. No, I don't know why. It's just a feeling, because I usually don't lose the drumstick, but it's something kind of strange. It's the only thing that sometimes I feel, oh, if it's too light, it's like I have to hold the drumstick. I have to hold the drumstick with more effort. I don't know. It's the best way for me to explain it, but maybe it's not your case. I don't know. You have to tell me that, okay? Cool, choose. Thank you again for the idea, and let me know what do you think. You can add a lot of comments here, because probably you want to say the right thing. But anyway, for those of you that have never tried that, or maybe some of you that didn't know that, it's cool. Don't worry about that. There's a lot of things I don't know, tons of things I don't know, and that's why I'm trying. So maybe the next time you go to the shop, you can get a pair of maple drumsticks and see the difference, see if it works for you, right? Cool. The next week I have the last video of the year, okay? Because I'm going to take a rest for a couple of weeks or something like that to spend my Christmas with family and all that stuff, and I come back in January again, okay? Cool. So anyway, we have one last video, just the next week. Cool. See you again.